Warren Buffett earned more money sleeping yesterday than you will earn working for the next 5 years. While you struggle to pay rent, Jeff Bezos earns $149,000 per minute. Not because he works harder than you, because he knows rules you never learned, invisible rules that separate predators from prey in the game of money. 500 years ago, Machiavelli revealed how princes conquer and maintain power. Today, billionaires use those same strategies to build empires while you exchange hours for crumbs. The difference is not intelligence. It is knowledge. There are financial codes silently passed down from elite to elite. They were never written in books. They were never taught in schools. They are the state secrets of capitalism. While you believe in meritocracy, they operate in an oligarchy. You know people who work 80 hours a week and still go broke. You know others who never worked and possess fortunes. The difference is not effort. It is mental architecture. They think like owners. You think like an employee. Rockefeller did not get rich selling oil. He got rich controlling who sold oil. Carnegie did not get rich making steel. He got rich owning who made steel. Gates did not become a billionaire by programming. He became a billionaire by licensing programs others made. See the pattern? They do not work for money. Money works for them. You were educated to be a piece on the board, programmed to obey, trained to serve. They were molded to move pieces, create rules, exert absolute dominance. After today, you will see the financial matrix that controls your life. McDonald's does not sell hamburgers. It sells real estate. Ray Kroc discovered that the real business was not food. It was owning the land where each franchise operated. While franchisees sweated to sell Big Macs, Kroc collected rents. The hamburger was the bait. The real estate was the hook. Machiavelli taught, the nature of the people is fickle. It is easy to persuade them of a thing, but difficult to keep them in that persuasion. Kroc understood, do not convince people to work for you. Create systems where they have no choice. You believe in the illusion of justice, that hard work generates proportional wealth, that honesty is rewarded, that the market is meritocratic, lies that keep you running on a treadmill while others own the gym. Look at the Rockefellers. In 1870, they controlled 90% of American oil, not by drilling more wells, by buying out bankrupt competitors, not by competing, by eliminating competition, not by playing by the rules, by rewriting the rules. The poor seek justice. The rich create what is just. The poor complain about bank fees. The rich own banks. The poor protest against monopolies. The rich build monopolies. The poor vote for politicians. The rich buy politicians. They do not break laws. They pay to change them. They do not commit crimes. They make what they do legal. They do not steal. They create systems where you voluntarily hand over everything. Amazon does not pay federal taxes. Apple keeps trillions in tax havens. Google collects your data and sells it to the highest bidder. Facebook manipulates your emotions to generate clicks. All legal, all planned, all system. You've been conditioned to trade time for money as if it were natural law. But time is finite. They discovered how to buy infinite time, systems that operate without their presence. While you work 8 hours to earn 200 rias, Elon Musk earns 200 million while sleeping. Not because he works 1 million times harder, because he owns machines that work for him. The first, brutal truth. Morality is a luxury of those who already have power. When you are poor, being moral keeps you poor. When you are rich, being moral protects you from the poor. Stop waiting for justice. Start creating advantages. You pay Netflix to watch. Netflix uses your money to create more content. More content traps you for longer. More time watching generates more data about you. That data is sold to advertisers. Advertisers pay more to Netflix. Netflix creates more content. The cycle feeds on you. You are not a client. You are a product. Machiavelli observed, "Men judge more by appearances than by reality, for everyone can see, but few can touch." The system seems to serve you. In reality, you serve the system. School teaches you to follow curricula created to form industrial-era workers. College puts you 20 years in debt for a diploma that is worth less every year. Company hires you to solve problems it created. Bank loans you money you do not have to buy things you do not need. Every institution is a farm. You are the livestock. The system's brilliance, it is disguised as freedom. You can choose between iPhone or Samsung, but you cannot choose to live without a smartphone. You can choose between Coke or Pepsi, but you cannot choose pure water without paying. You can choose to work for Company A or B, but you cannot choose not to work for anyone. Instagram addicts you to validation. LinkedIn addicts you to networking. TikTok addicts you to entertainment. Each platform sells you back to yourself. You pay with attention. They sell your attention. They profit twice. The educational system does not want thinkers. It wants executors. It teaches you to memorize, not to question, to obey, not to lead, to follow instructions, not to create visions. It trains you to be an efficient piece in someone else's machine. Predictability is your prison. Monday at 7 a.m., work at 8 a.m., lunch at noon, home at 6 p.m., TV until 10 p.m., bed at 11 p.m. Robotic, controllable, profitable for those who own your time. While you plan for retirement at 65, BlackRock manages $10 trillion and plans which country to buy. While you save to exchange your car, Vanguard owns shares in all the car manufacturers. They do not buy cars. They own the automobile industry. The system does not want you to fail. It wants you to have enough hope to keep paying, enough success not to give up, never enough freedom to leave the game. You do not choose where you are born, how you are educated, what jobs exist, what prices you pay. But you believe you have free will. The matrix is real, and it is financial. Henry Ford paid workers $5 a day in 1914, an absurd fortune for the time. Why? Because he needed workers to buy his cars. He created consumers for his own products. He profited by selling and profited by paying. A poor mind sees contradiction. A rich mind sees system. Machiavelli taught, "He who neglects what is done for what should be done sooner affects his ruin than his preservation." Ford neglected what he should do, pay less, and did what worked, create a market. The mental architecture of the rich operates in dimensions you do not even perceive. While you ask, "How much does it cost?" they ask, "How much does it generate?" While you see an expense, they see an investment. While you calculate the present, they calculate perpetual future. The poor buy a 50-inch television. The rich buy Sony shares. The poor watch Netflix. The rich buy Netflix shares. The poor use an iPhone. The rich buy Apple shares. See the pattern? You consume. They own your consumption. The poor save money in a savings account that yields 0.5% a year. The rich borrow that same money from the bank at 15% a year. Your money works to enrich those who are already rich. You pay to be exploited. The rich mentality is elegantly parasitic. They identify fundamental human needs and position themselves between you and the satisfaction of those needs. You want a house? They finance it. You want food? They sell it. You want transportation? They rent it. Every need of yours is their revenue. Bezos did not invent e-commerce. He positioned Amazon between you and any product you want to buy. Zuckerberg did not invent relationships. He positioned Facebook between you and your social connections. Musk did not invent electric cars. He positioned Tesla between you and sustainable mobility. They do not create products. They create dependencies. The fundamental mental difference. You solve isolated problems. They create systemic solutions. You think about making money. They think about controlling money. You want financial independence. They want others' financial dependence. A rich mind thinks in generations. J.P. Morgan in 1890 was already planning what would happen in 1950. Rockefeller created foundations that still control education and health 100 years later. Rothschild financed Napoleonic wars knowing he would control the Reconstruction. You plan the weekend. They plan centuries. The brutality of the rich mind. It has no feelings about money. Money is a tool, not an objective. Power is the objective, and power does not negotiate with morality. Machiavelli revealed 3 laws that every prince must master. Wall Street turned them into an exact science. First law, own the generator, not the product. You buy music on Spotify. Daniel Ek owns Spotify. You pay a monthly fee. He receives it from 180 million simultaneous paying users. You consume. He owns the consumption. The prince who relies entirely upon fortune is ruined when it changes. Machiavelli knew that property is the only fortune that does not change. Property generates income while you sleep, travel, or die. The brutality of the first law, never be the product, be the owner of the product. McDonald's does not sell hamburgers, it owns the land. Disney does not sell movies, it owns the intellectual property. Uber does not own cars, it owns the platform that connects you to the cars. Second law, sell the invisible, not the tangible. Nike does not sell shoes, it sells just do it. Apple does not sell computers, it sells think different. Coca-Cola does not sell soda, it sells happiness. Everyone sees what you appear to be, few feel what you are. What you sell does not matter. What people feel when they buy defines the price. Louis Vuitton sells $500 bags for $5,000. Because they do not sell bags, they sell status. Marlboro turned cigarettes into masculinity. De Beers turned diamond into eternal love. Tesla turned car into environmental revolution. They sell emotions, identities, dreams. The product is just the vehicle. Third law, build golden cages. A prudent prince must devise means whereby his citizens are always in need of him. Perpetual wealth comes from creating systematic dependence. Amazon Prime traps you with free shipping. Google traps you with convenience. Facebook traps you with social connections. Apple traps you with the ecosystem. You enter free. You leave expensively. Gillette sells cheap razors and expensive blades forever. HP sells cheap printers and expensive cartridges forever. PlayStation sells cheap consoles and expensive games forever. They capture you with bait and profit from dependence. These 3 laws built the Medicis, Rothschilds, Rockefellers. He who masters them controls civilizations, property, emotion, dependence, perpetual empire. Wealth requires coldness, and that is why few can bear to have it. Machiavelli warned, he who neglects what is done for what should be done sooner effects his ruin than his preservation. Power has a cost that few are willing to pay. The loneliness of command. You want to be loved and rich? Impossible. True wealth requires decisions that destroy friendships, fire people, cut family ties, sacrifice feelings in the name of results. You choose popularity or power, affection or authority. The rich live in golden castles, but they are empty castles, surrounded by employees, not friends, surrounded by flatterers, not companions. Every relationship is calculated, every conversation is strategic, every smile is measured. The price of financial freedom is emotional imprisonment. You lose the ability to trust. Everyone wants something from you. Every approach hides an agenda. Every tear can be a performance. You become paranoid because the world validates your paranoia. They do not have weekends. They have opportunities. They do not have vacations. They have territorial expansions. They do not have hobbies. They have investments. The rich mind never rests because money never sleeps. You complain about working 8 hours. They work 24 hours, but they call it life. The difference is that you work to survive. They work to dominate. Survival is tiring. Domination is addictive. Power progressively isolates. Every level of wealth eliminates more genuine relationships. Childhood friends become strangers. Family members become candidates for alms. Romantic partners become fortune hunters. Children become impatient heirs. You cannot be vulnerable when everyone sees you as prey. You cannot be honest when the truth is used against you. You cannot be generous when generosity is interpreted as weakness. You cannot be human when humans are your source of profit. The rich learn to smile when they want to cry, to agree when they want to disagree, to forgive when they want revenge, to donate when they want to accumulate. All performance, all strategy, all calculated. The higher you climb, the fewer people can accompany you. At the top of the pyramid, you are alone. Rich people surrounded by crowds are the loneliest beings on the planet. They have every luxury except genuine companionship. The cruel irony, you fight your whole life to have enough money to buy everything you want. When you finally succeed, you discover that the only thing you truly wanted, real relationships, cannot be bought. Machiavelli knew it is better to be feared than loved, because love can end. Fear is eternal, but to live eternally feared is to live eternally alone. Do you still want to pay this price? Can you bear the loneliness of power? Do you trade companionship for control? Speak little. Observe much. And when you act, let it seem inevitable. Machiavelli taught that he who conquers and wants to keep must observe two things: that the lineage of the ancient prince is extinguished and that his laws and his taxes are not altered. The rich strategy works the same way. Destroy competition and maintain appearances. First strategy, think like an owner. You think like an employee. They think like owners. An employee solves problems. An owner creates systems that prevent problems. An employee works within limitations. An owner redefines limitations. The employee asks, "How can I do this better?" The owner asks, "How can I get others to do this for me?" The employee seeks efficiency. The owner seeks multiplication. The employee wants job security. The owner wants market dominance. Second strategy, act in silence. You announce plans. They execute conquests. When you discover what they are doing, they have already done it. They do not sell dreams. They deliver results. They do not make promises. They make acquisitions. True power is invisible. While politicians give speeches, they buy politicians. While activists protest, they buy the causes. While journalists write stories, they buy the newspapers. They operate in the shadows because light attracts unwanted attention. They conquer territories before others realize there's a war. They control markets before regulators understand there is concentration. Third strategy, manipulate appearances. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few perceive what you really are. They control the narrative. They seem generous while concentrating wealth. They seem concerned about you while profiting from your needs. They seem uncertain while executing plans decades into the future. They create charity foundations while avoiding taxes. They finance social causes while exploiting workers. They defend sustainability while polluting oceans. They promote democracy while buying elections. The Machiavellian mental map is simple. Identify control points, dominate them in silence, maintain appearances of normalcy. While you debate politics, they buy politicians. While you complain about the system, they are the system. They have turned strategy into art. Every move seems accidental, but it was calculated. Every crisis seems unexpected, but it was planned. Every solution seems generous, but concentrates more power. The ultimate strategy, to make you believe they are like you, that they got lucky, that they worked hard, that they deserve what they have. While you believe in meritocracy, they know they live in an oligarchy. You play checkers. They play dimensional chess. You see one move ahead. They see 10 generations ahead. You play to win the game. They play to dominate the game. The time has come for the choice that defines your existence. You discovered that billionaires did not get rich by being fair. You discovered that the system was designed to use you. You discovered that wealth requires a coldness that few can bear. You discovered the 3 laws that govern every empire: property, emotion, dependence. Now you have 2 options. Option 1, return to the matrix. Close this video. Go back to your employee life. Keep exchanging hours for reas. Keep believing that hard work generates wealth. Keep hoping that the government will solve your problems. Keep being a product in others' system. It is easier, it is more comfortable, it is more moral, and it keeps you poor forever. Option 2, accept reality. The world is not fair. It never was. It never will be. People who accept this truth control people who live in illusion, not because they are evil, because they are realistic. If you choose this option, you will have to take the oath that separates predators from prey. I accept that morality is a luxury of those who already have power. I accept that the system exists to use me, not to serve me. I accept that wealth requires emotional sacrifices that most cannot bear. From today on, I do not work for money. Money works for me. I do not follow rules. I create rules. I do not solve isolated problems. I build perpetual systems. This oath does not make you a villain. It makes you strategic. It does not make you immoral. It makes you effective. It does not make you cruel. It makes you free. Machiavelli wrote The Prince to teach rulers how to rule. Today, you learned to rule your own financial life. The transformation begins now. Stop asking, how much does it cost? And start asking, how much does it generate? Stop buying products and start owning producers. Stop being a consumer and start being an owner. The final question is not whether you can win this game. It is whether you have the courage to admit it was always a game. And games have winners and losers. Do you prefer to be a conscious prey or an unconscious predator? Getting rich is not complicated. It is brutally simple. The question is, can you bear the brutal part?